Hello everyone, welcome to Dakshina e-classroom program, and this is a video solution for paper NZT for the NEET student of our physics. So let's continue here. We have question number 1. Two identical capacitors, each of capacitance 5 microfarad, are charged to potential of 2 kilovolt and 1 kilovolt respectively. The negative ends are connected together while the positive ends are also together connected. The loss of the energy. So this is a standard question number 1. यहाँ पर दो कैपेसिटर हैं उनको लाइक नेगेटिव प्लेट्स connected and positive plates also connected. C1, C2 actually both are same, and it's like 2 kilovolt, it's 1 kilovolt. Here the loss of the energy is given by U loss is given by C1 C2 by 2 C1 plus C2, and this is V1 minus V2 whole square. Substituting everything, it's 5 microfarad, 5 minus 25 into 10 to the power minus 12 divided by 2 into 5 plus 5, 10 into 10 over 6 into this is 2000 minus 1000 square. Solving it, we are getting U loss is equal to 1.252, matching with option number 4. Question number 2. A small metallic ball is charged positively and negatively in a sinusoidal manner at a frequency of 10 to the power 6 count per second, means hertz. The maximum charge on the ball is 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb. What is the maximum displacement current due to this alternating current? So, frequency of the charge is 10 to the power 6 CPS, means hertz. Omega is equal to 2 pi f, means 2 pi into 10 to the power 6. This is radian per second, you can say. Omega, the charge can be like q naught into sine of some omega t. Then current I is equal to dq by dt, that is q naught into omega into cos of omega t. The maximum value of this is simply q naught into omega. Substituting the values, q naught is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 into omega 2 pi into 10 to the power 6. 6 gets cancelled, so this is coming out to 6.28 ampere. This is the answer matching with option number first. Next question number 3. A car of mass 1000 kg negotiating a banked curve of radius 90 meter on a frictionless road with the banking angle is 45 degrees. The speed of the car is, so it's simply straight under root r g 10 theta. Substituting everything, r 90 g 10 10 45 degree. That's coming out to be 930 meter per second, converting it into, okay, that's given meter per second, matching with option number 4. Next question number 4. So that is physical quantity of the dimension of length that can be found out of C capital G and E square by 4 pi epsilon naught is. C is velocity of light, G is universal gas constant, universal constant of gravitation, and E is the charge. So here we need to derive the dimension for length. Question number 4. So here we can see the energy in terms of electric field. It's U square by 4 pi epsilon naught into N. This is also equal to mc square, and this is also equal to G m square by N. From here I can write 1 m gets cancelled, and this implies from these two m is equal to lc squared by g. Substituting this m here, this implies e squared by 4 pi epsilon naught into l is equal to, this is mc squared, so lc power 4 divided by g, l squared, and this implies l squared is equal to g e squared by 4 pi epsilon naught c power 4 and root over this. This is the answer matching with option number, you can rearrange it a little bit, 4. Next question number 5. Angular frequency of particle from the given expression is given as 4 into d2 pi by dt square plus 9 pi, can be rearranged d2 pi by dt square plus 9 by 4 into y equal to 0. Comparing the standard equation of assistant, this is the omega square, This implies omega is equal to root over that is 3 by 2. Matching with option number 3. Next question number 6. A coil is suspended in a uniform magnetic field with a plane of the coil parallel to the magnetic lines of force. When a current is passed through the coil, it starts oscillating. Okay, it is very difficult to stop, but if it is a aluminum plate is placed near to the coil, it is stop. That is, so we can check the option. Electromagnetic induction, the aluminum plate giving rise to the electromagnetic damping. That is correct. Developed of air current when no induction of electrical charge on the plate, no shielding of. So it's first answer. Question number 6. Next, question number 7. For the given situation, the system is at rest. Find the value of. So means net forces must be balanced here. So capital mg into sine of how much? 30 degree must be equal to small m into g. G gets cancelled. This implies it's asking the value of small m. So small m is equal to capital M by 2. Matching with option number 1. Question number 8. Okay. In an LC oscillating circuit, the maximum current of the inductor is I. Okay. The current in the inductor by the energy stored. So energy stored in the inductor is equal to half L I square. This is the maximum energy. Alright. When energy stored is equally, so means half of the energy, so means half of this, let's say the current is half L I square. Solving it, this implies I is coming out to be I by root 2. So that's matching with option number 3. Next, question number 9. The potential difference V and the current I flowing through an instrument in an AC circuit of the frequency F are given by V equal to 5 cos omega t, and this the power dissipated. So power dissipated in a circuit is I RMS V RMS into cos of phi. Phi is the phase difference, and here we can say sine and cos, so phase difference is 90 degrees. So phi is 90. That means power is equal to 0. Phi is 90 degrees. Matching with option number 1. Question number 10. Quarter of the sector of the uniform disk of radius r as shown in the figure, the coordinate of the center of mass. So for this, actually, like this is the system. If this is the theta, which is half of this, the coordinate of center of mass is given by 2r into sine of theta divided by 3 into theta. So theta will be here pi by 4. Substituting it here, r is coming out to be 2r sine. So this is 3 into pi into 4 into 1 by root 2. This is the coordinates. So x coordinate is r cos 45 degree. That's coming out to be basically 8 r by 3 pi into 2. That's 4 r by 3, and 4 r by 3 is a 3 pi also. Will be also same by coordinate. That's matching with option number 3. Next question number 11. In Young's double slit experiment, the 10th maximum of the wavelength lambda 1 is at a distance of y1. So that is equal to 10 lambda 1 capital D by small d, 10th maximum. And from the center maximum, when the wavelength of the source is changed to lambda 2, the fifth maximum is at a distance of y2 from the center maximum. So fifth maximum from y2 is 5 lambda 2 into capital D by small d. Now what it's asking? Okay, the center maximum and the ratio of y1 by y2 by y2 is simply coming out to be this gone. It's coming out to be 2 lambda 1 by lambda 2 match with option number 1. Next question number 12. Intensity of the two waves are 9i and I respectively. Find out the resultant intensity of the phase between them is given by pi. So I resultant is given by, this is I1, that is 9i plus I2 is I minus, or we can write basically plus 2 root I1 I2 root, this is I into 9i into cos of phase difference pi, that is pi. So this is coming out to be 10i minus, this will be like 6i, because cos pi will be minus 1, so it's coming out to be 4i is the resultant intensity, matching with option number 2. Next question number 13. Two blocks of mass 8 kg and 5 kg are connected by a heavy rope of the mass 3 kg. The complete system is accelerated upward by 10 meter per second square as on the figure. So here we can consider the lower part of point P. So that will be has like this rope and this weight. So it's 3 kg and it's 5 kg. Total it's 8 kg. Okay. and here as let's say t. What I can write t minus mg, that's 8 into g equal to 8 into acceleration 10. This implies t is equal to 160 Newton, matching with option number 3. Next question number 14. Okay, let me erase the board for that. Okay, so next question number 14. Water flow in a streamlined manner through a capillary tube of radius A, pressure difference being P and rate of flow is Q. If the radius is reduced to A by 2 and pressure increased to 2P, the rate of the flow becomes. So this is question number 14. यहाँ पे rate of flow is given by pi a power 4 into delta p, that is p divided by 8 eta l. This is, let's say, q. Next is q prime, where pi a is becoming a by 2 power 4 into 2p divided by 8 eta l. Remaining things are same, so it's basically just simply dividing. We are getting it q prime is equal to q by 8, matching with option number 4. Next question number 15. Suspended long metal wire is stretched a small distance x by a load W in Newton. Suspended at other end. Select the best answer. So this is and expanded by amount x. So work done by gravity is W into x. But the loss in potential energy of the load W is equal to the gain in energy of the wire in stretching. No, it's basically not. The energy stored in the wire can be calculated from the area between the force extension graph and extension axis. Also not. The energy per unit volume stored in the wire is not. No, actually. Total energy stored in the wire will be W into x by 2. So none of these will be the right answer here. Question number 15. Next question number 16. Organ pipe even closed at one end vibrating in its first overtone. Closed at one end vibrating in first overtone, it's basically 3V by 4 into L1, let's say. Then first overtone. And another pipe P2 at open at both the end vibrating in its third overtone P2. So it's frequency F2. Third overtone first, so it's 4V by 2 into L2. This is becoming in resonance with the given tuning fork, means this is equal to this. So F1 is equal to F2. And then the ratio of the length of the P1 to P2. So L1 by L2. This implies 3V by 4 L1 equal to 4V by 2 L2. And this implies L1 by L2 is equal to 3 by 8. This is the answer, matching with option number 2. Question number 17. The graph shows an instantaneous profile of the rope carrying a progressive wave moving from left to right. This is the profile. After some time, it will be basically this way, like this. So now here points A, this is B, and this is okay. So now the phase at A is greater than the phase at B. Okay, yes, the point which is travel more distance will be lagging in the phase. So phase at B will be, that's correct. The phase at B, definitely not right. A is moving upwards, A is actually moving downward, that is also not right. B is moving upward, B is moving upward, that's correct. So A and D are correct answer, matching with option number 2. Question number 18. Width of the river is 60 meters. Swimmer wants to cross the river so that he heads from A to B directly. Point B is 45 meters ahead of the river AC and assume speed of the river and swimmer to be swimmer as equal. Swimmer must try to swim at an angle theta with the line AC. So here this is the river base and this is the point A, and swimmer want to reach here B. This is 60 meter and this is 45 meter. So this angle we can get it's 53 degree. Now the river velocity is we are here and this we want to swim, we swimmer at some angle theta. Now because these two speeds are equal, so the resultant velocity will be exactly at half of. So this is basically right total angle, it's 90 degree plus theta. So I can write 90 plus theta by 2. Half of this must be equal to 53 degree. 53 degree, and this implies solving here 60 degree is the theta, because both speeds are equal, so net velocity will be always at bisector, angle bisector. That means this is the half of this total angle, so that's line, we are getting theta equal to 60 degree. Next question number 19. If train covered first half of the distance traveled between the two stations with a speed of 40 km per hour and the second half, other half 60 km per hour, then its average speed. So let's say distance is s and speed is 40. This is the t1. T2 time will be s by 60. So total time is t1 plus t2 and average velocity, average speed is equal to total distance divided by total time s by 40 plus s by 60. Solving it, we are getting it's 48 kilometer per hour. Matching with option number 2. Next question number 20. Two particles carrying charge minus q and plus q and having equal masses m each are fixed at the end of the light rod of length a to form a dipole. The rod is slapped at one end and is placed in a uniform electric field E with the axis of the dipole along the electric field as shown. The rod is slightly tilted and then released, neglecting gravity. Find the time period of the smallest instant. So this is minus q, this is plus q, minus q, and this is fixed basically. Here QE force will be, this is L, this is angle theta. So torque acting about this point tau is equal to QE into L into sine theta. For a small value of theta, it can be written as QE into L into theta is written as I into alpha. And I can be written as ML squared by okay, so neglecting that the rod is slightly tilted, okay, what is asking? The rod is clamped at, okay, now it's asking time period. So alpha will be d2 theta by dt square. This implies simplifying it, we are getting it d2 theta by dt square plus QEL by I into theta equal to 0. So this is quantity is omega square. Omega is root over this, so time is equal to 2 pi root over omega, that is I by QEL. And I about this will be like here is two particles carrying equal mass are fixed at the end, okay. And then substituting the value of I, we are getting I is equal to m into L square. Substituting it here, it's 2I. This is I m L square m L by QE will be the answer matching, or L is actually here given as A. So it will be A. So this is the answer matching with option number 4. Next question number 21. The spatial distribution of the electric field lines due to a charge A and B as shown in the figure, which are the following statement. So we know actually from all the charge it eject out or like immerse, and at negative charge they basically converge. So A definitely ejecting. So it's basically A is positive, B is negative, and A, because number of field lines emitting from A is more than, so that's why definitely magnitude of A will be greater than. So A is positive, that's matched with option number 1. Question number 21. Next question number 22. Time period of the satellite in a circular orbit of radius is r. So we know actually t square is directly proportional to r2. The next base time period is, let's say, t prime square, and then it will be directly proportional to 4r whole cube. This implies t prime is equal to 8t. Matching with option number 4. Question number 23. In Young's double slit experiment, the intensity of the light at a point on the screen where the path difference is lambda. Path difference is lambda, which phase difference is I 0 or pi. So then I is equal to k, not k into cos square 2 pi, that is simply k. Next, I prime is equal to k into cos square, where phase difference lambda, the intensity at a point where the path difference is lambda by 4. So phase difference corresponding to path difference of lambda by 4 is given by delta phi is equal to 2 pi by lambda into delta x. That is lambda by 4. That means it's pi by 2. Substituting it here, pi by 4. Pi by 2 for this coming out to be basically k by 2. Matching with option number 3. Next question number 24. Okay, solid sphere, hollow sphere, and ring are released from top of inclined plane frictionless, so that they slide down the plane. The maximum acceleration down the plane is for, so acceleration in this case is given by g sin theta, because it's not a pure rolling, it's simply sliding. So acceleration will be same for all. So it will be same for all. Matching with option number 4. Question number 25. Wheel having moment of inertia 2 kg per meter, 2 kg meter square about its vertical axis rotated at a rate of 60 rpm. So about the axis revolutions per minute. So omega initial is given by 60 rpm into 60 rpm, 2 pi by 60, that is 2 pi radian per second. Initial velocity, final velocity should be 0. Time to stop 60, 1 minute means 60 seconds. And then what it's asking, the torque. So torque will be equal to tau is equal to I into alpha. I is 2 into alpha will be equal to, this is 2 pi minus 0 divided by 60. That's coming out to be basically pi by 15. This will be the Newton meter torque, matching with option number 2. Next question number 26. Thin equiconvex lens has focal length 10 centimeter and refractive index 1.5. So we know actually focal length 10 centimeter, mu refractive index 1.5. This implies the radius of curvature of the focal length will be equal to simply 10 centimeter. Alright. And one of its face is silver, and for the object placed at a distance u in front of it, the image coincides with the object, the value of the u. So let's calculate the equivalent focal length of this system where one of its surface is silver. 1 by f equivalent is given by minus 2 by fl plus 1 by f mirror. Focal length of mirror will be simply r by 2. Substituting everything, it's minus 2 by fl is equal to 10 plus focal length for this will be like minus actually. So it's 1 by minus 5, and this implies FL is coming out to be basically 5 by 2 minus. So this is the focal length. Then it will be acting effectively like a concave mirror. So the object should be placed at 2f. So the distance u must be equal to 2f equivalent, that is equal to minus 5 centimeter. So that's matching with option number 2. So just magnitude. Next question number 27. So here a ray fall on a prism ABC and travel as one figure the maximum minimum reflecting index of the prism material should be. So TIR is happening here. Question number, this is 27. So this like ray is falling like this. So this is given as 45 degree. Then maximum here can be like 90 degree angle. So we can write mu sine 45 must be greater than 1 into sine 90, and this implies mu must be greater than root 2. That's matching with option number 2. Next question number 28. Let me erase the board first. Okay, so next question number 28. Diminished virtual image can be found only. So plane mirror definitely not. Same concave mirror. So it's simply like a question number 28. Right answer is 3. Question number 29. Which value of the Earth magnetic field is BH is equal to 0.3 Gauss. In this magnetic field, a magnet is oscillating with the 5 oscillations per minute. Means frequency is 5 oscillations per minute. To increase the oscillation of magnet up to 10 oscillations per minute, the value of the Earth magnetic field. So we know actually time period is given by T is equal to 2 pi under root. This is I by M into B. So M is magnetic moment of the dipole, that's magnetic constant. I is the mode of inertia. Only we are changing here B. So it's frequent 1 by time period to be frequency, that is 1 by 5. Next we want 2 pi under root I by M into B2. Be equal to 1 by L2, that's equal to 1 by 10. So this implies 10 by 5, simply dividing this by this. This coming out to be root over B2 by B1. This implies B2 is equal to 4 times of B1, and B2 is equal to 4 times of 0.3, that's 1.2 Gauss GUALS. So now it's asking the value of the Earth magnetic field increased by. So increase earlier it was 0.3, now it's 1.2. So the delta B increment is 0.9 Gauss. That's matching with option number 3. Next question number 30. To increase the current sensitivity of the moving coil 11 meters. So current sensitivity sensitivity pi by x and VA by C. To increase, as we can increase this, or we can decrease this. So let me check the option. Decrease number of turns, no. Decrease area, no. Increase torsional power, no. So it's none of these matching with option number 4th. Next question number 31. Which represent NOR gate? So we can see simply fourth one, NOT gate, third one, OR gate, second one, NOR, because OR plus NOT. So first one is simply matching. OR plus NOT, that's matching with the first one. Straightforward. Question number 32. Next, in the given circuit, VCE is given as 4, VBE is given as 0.6, and beta is 100. Find the value of the R. So we can apply KVL in the. So this is the circuit actually given. As this. There's battery in here. This. So it's given as 1 kilo ohm, 8 volt, and this is R. Applying KVL in this, it's basically 4 volts. So it's 8 minus 1 kilo ohm times power 3 into IC minus 4 equal to 0. This implies IC is equal to 4 milliampere. Beta is equal to 100 is equal to IC by IP. This implies IB is equal to 0.04 milliampere. Now we are applying KVL in this loop. We are getting it's basically 8 minus IB into R minus 0.6 equal to 0. This implies IB. We already know R is equal to 7.4. It's basically VC, yeah, that's correct. VB is 0. Okay, so IB is equal to 7.4 divided by this is IB. IB is this 0.04 into 10 power 3. Solving it's coming out to be 185 ohm. Matching with option number 1. Next question number 33. Okay. So here, carbon and silicon both have same lattice structure having 4 bonding electrons in each. However, C is insulator where Si silicon is intrinsic semiconductor. This is because just need to check the correct statement of the available options. The 4 bonding electrons in case of C lies in second orbit, that's correct. Whereas in case of silicon, they lies in the third orbit, that's right. 4 bonding electron case the third, that's right. Here C valence band is not completely no, so the correct answer here matches with option number 4. First. Next question number 34. Galvanometer has a resistance of 3663 ohm. Shunt S is connected across it such that 1 by 34 of the total current passes through the galvanometer. So this is the galvanometer, and let's say shunt resistance as G and total current I, and it's Ig. So Ig, we know it's equal to basically divided by it's Gs divided by G plus S multiplied by total current. Now it's given as I by I. This is given as 1 by 34. Substituting the values here, actually G has 3. Right. So let me first simplify it further. So 34 Gs is equal to G plus S. This implies we need actually S, so bringing it this side, so S is equal to G divided by 34 Gs. So it's basically 34 G minus 1 this, and solving it, substituting here the values, we are getting it we need it's a mistake, it's this side, so it's basically 34 Gs, bringing it S this side, then it's basically 34 G minus 1 into G, so S, just wait a second. Okay, there is small error. Actually, it will be simply S by G plus S, because otherwise it will not be correct. This will be voltage if I'm multiplying it G, so it is coming out to be actually this. Now G will not be here, so this is the relation solving, and then we are getting it actually 33 S is equal to G, so S is equal to 3663 divided by 33, so it's coming out to be 111 ohm. This is the answer matching with option number 2. Next question number 35. The equivalent resistance between the two terminal A and B in the network shown in the figure. So here we can simply flip it down on the horizontal line. So then the circuit equivalent will become like this, here, this, and this, wait. Okay, so here, this after flipping the upper part here, so it will become basically R by 2. This will also become R by 2. This will be R. From this side, it will be merging. So R by 2, R by 2, and R by 2. Nothing. So now it's R, 2R, R by 2, series, parallel, and all that. Solving it, we are getting R equal to G equal to 7R by 5. Simple. Series parallel. Next question number 36. Okay, so 36, on increasing the temperature of the conductor, its resistance increases. So R is given by M by N E square into tau multiplied by L by A. So now we can check on increasing the temperature. Resistance is increasing, that's correct, but N doesn't increase, E doesn't increase. L and A also almost remain constant. They actually increase, but we neglect in this case of increasing resistance. So tau is the only thing which actually changes. Relaxation time decreases. That is the only correct option for option number 36. Let's check the option number first. Next 37. Consider heat engine shown in the figure. Q1 and Q2 are the heat added to T1 and heat removed from T2 in one cycle of the engine. W is the mechanical work done on the engine. If W is greater than 0, it is mentioned clearly. Then which of the following statements? So from this we can write W plus Q2 must be equal to Q1. This implies Q1 is equal to, this is the relation we are getting now out of the available option. Q2 greater than Q1, definitely it's not possible because this quantity is greater than 0, so Q2 must be less than something. Now we can check W greater than Q1, not possible. Q2 equal to Q1, also not possible. Q1 greater than W. Q1 definitely, because some amount of this will be there, so Q1 will be definitely greater than only W. Matching with option number 4. Next question number 38. Here, so at 27 degrees Celsius, gas is suddenly compressed. Suddenly compressed means it's adiabatic process, so that its volume becomes 1 by 8 of the original volume. The temperature of the gas will be. So here we know actually P V power gamma is equal to constant. Substituting here, we are getting it actually rearranging it into T. So it's T V power gamma minus 1 equal to constant. T initial temperature is 27, means 300 into volume. Let's say V power gamma is given as 5 by 8, 2 by 3 equal to final temperature multiplied by volume V by 8 power 2 by 3. Solving it, we are getting T is equal to 1200 Kelvin. Okay, so this solving, we are getting this, and that's equal to basically 927 degrees Celsius in case of degrees Celsius. Matching with option number 4. Next question number 39. 1 mole of an ideal diatomic gas undergoes a transition from A to B along the path as shown in the figure. So now from this diagram we can say at point A, let's say that is T1 or TA, we can write 1 mole, so it's NR T1 equal to P1 into V1. It's basically 5 into 4, it's 20 into kilopascal, 10 is power 3. So we get, this implies T1 is equal to 20 into 10 is power 3 divided by R. Similarly, T2 is equal to, this is 2 into 6, it's 12 into 10 power 3 divided by R. So this is the temperature. Change in internal energy of the gas during process A to B. So delta U is given by NC V delta T. N is 1, Cv is its diatomic gas. It's basically 5 by 2 into R into delta T. Basically, it's 12 into 10 to the power 3 by R minus 20 into 10 to the power 3 by R. Solving, we are getting R gets cancelled, so it's coming out to be basically 5 into 8 into 10 to the power 3 by 2 minus, that's coming out to be basically minus 20 kilojoule. Matching with option number 1. Next question number 14. A cylinder containing an ideal gas is in vertical position and has a piston of mass capital M that is able to move up and down without friction. If the temperature of the gas is increased, because now from the top it's balanced by some pressure. So if temperature increase, pressure will try to increase, but it has the possibility to expand. So it will definitely expand, and by keeping the pressure constant, volume will change, but not pressure. So that's matching with option number 3. Next question number 41. Show the temperature of the two outer surface of the composite slabs consisting of the two material having coefficient of thermal conductivity K and 2K and thickness X and 4X respectively are T2 and T1, T1 greater than T2 greater than T1. The rate of heat transfer through the slab. So here we can find the total resistance R is equal to X by Ka plus 4X by 2Ka. That's coming out to be basically 3X by Ka is the R. Then this implies rate of heat transfer is equal to T2 minus T1 divided by resistance, that is 3x into Ka. Comparing it to the standard answer given, we are getting F is equal to 1 by 3, matching with option number 4. Next question number 42. So let me just erase the board for that. Okay, next question number 42. It's given here. Two radioactive nuclei P and Q are in a given sample decay with the disturbed nuclei R at a time t equal to 0. The number of P species are 4 and naught, and that of Q are n naught. Half life of P for conversion to R is 1 minute, and that of the Q is 2 minutes. Initially, there are no nuclei of R present in the sample. Number of nuclei of P and Q are equal. Okay, the number of nuclei of R present in the sample would be, okay, so add this. So initially it's P and Q both became lambda 1, lambda 2 R. Lambda 1 is ln 2 by T half, that's 1 minute. Lambda 2 is ln 2 by 2 minutes. And then and P is equal to 4 and naught e is to a minus lambda 1 into T, and Q is equal to n naught e is to minus lambda 2 into T. At some time both are becoming equal. This implies 4 is becoming equal. So these two becoming equal. So 4 is equal to n of n gets cancelled. E is to a minus lambda 1 minus lambda 2 into T, and lambda 1 minus lambda 2. So this implies ln 4, that's basically 2 into 2 can be written as basically T multiplied by lambda 1 minus lambda 2, that's coming out to be ln 2 by 2, and this implies T is equal to 4 minutes. So at 4 minutes we can write this, it's basically 4 half cycles, so NT at T equal to 4 minutes, it will be basically 4 n naught by 2 power 4, that's coming out to be n naught by 4, and Q is also n naught by n cube by 4. So n R is given by 4 n naught minus n naught by 4 plus n naught minus n naught by 4. Adding it, we are getting it 9 n naught by 2. Matching with option number 4. Question number 43. Energy released in the fission of uranium 92-235 nucleus is 200 mega electron volt. Fission rate of uranium fuel reactor operating at a power of level 5 watt. Power 5, let's say n number of fissions per second, 200 mega 6 into 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19. Solving it, we are getting n is equal to 1.56 into 10 to the 11 fissions per second. Matching with option number 2. Next, 44. To explain the structure of the spectrum of hydrogen atom, we must consider finite size of the nucleus, no presence of neutron in the nucleus, spin angular momentum, matching with option number 3. in angular momentum is correct. Next, 45. The work function of the metal A and B are the ratio of 1 and 1:2 in the frequencies of F and 2F are incident on the surface of A. So HF minus this is equal to residual energy. In next case B, it's 2HF because frequency. This will work function is also 2 times. This is equal to K2 and this implies now it's asking the ratio of maximum kinetic energy to photo electrons emitted will be K. So it's K1 by K2. You can see this one by 2 as the answer matching with option number 2. So that's all about paper anxiety 6. Thank you everyone.